Welcome to MySci Unit 5, Tiny Flyers. This is a first grade life science and engineering unit where students explore how and why hummingbirds migrate, build nests, and care for their young. Let's take a look into the unit at a glance. This unit covers several first grade life science standards about young animals and their parents, and patterns in animal behavior along with engineering standards to create a model and analyze its function. 3 of the standards are covered in all dimensions, and 2 standards are partially addressed. All but one of the next generation science standards correspond to a Missouri Learning Standard listed in parentheses on this chart. If you'd like, take a moment to pause the video and review them. This unit is divided into 2 sections. Each section has a driving question, designed to reflect what we anticipate students would naturally ask through their learning process. Sections 1 and 2 each include 3 lessons. The anchoring phenomenon is introduced in Lesson 1. Overall, the unit should take about 28 to 30 days to complete. The anchoring phenomenon is: the ruby-throated hummingbird travels across the country to nest. Students will explore why the hummingbird migrates such a long distance each year. The driving question for Section 1 is: how and why do hummingbirds migrate? Students connect to the anchoring phenomenon by exploring patterns about birds protecting their young through migration. Students ask questions about the life of the ruby-throated hummingbird in particular. The section concludes as students use observations to describe how birds use the sun and stars to navigate during migration. Through the storyline in Section 1, students gain an understanding of these standards-based big ideas. Birds migrate in order to find a place to make a nest for their young. The place they fly to has more food for them to find for their young. Birds use patterns of the sun and stars to help them navigate during migration. Section 1 should take about 11 to 12 days to complete. The driving question for Section 2 is: how does the hummingbird care for its offspring once they are born? In this section, students connect to the anchoring phenomenon, investigating patterns of birds building nests to protect their young. Students will observe adult and young animals to find patterns in their similarities and differences. This section concludes as students use evidence to construct an explanation for how birds' beaks aid them in feeding their young. They complete the unit by finding patterns between the shape of bird beaks and the food they eat. Through the storyline, students gain an understanding of these standards-based big ideas. Birds build nests to protect their young, but different birds use different materials to make their nests. Young animals are similar, but not exactly the same as their parents. However, the young are recognizable as the same type of animal as the adult. Bird beaks are designed to help them gather the food they need for themselves and to feed their young. Babies also let the parent birds know they need food by chirping in the nest. Section 2 should take 17 to 18 days to complete. Our team here at MySci hopes you and your students enjoy tiny flyers and engaging in work around these amazing creatures. We look forward to your feedback. Happy MySciencing!